You are now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? It is your girl Yoziva and Knowledge. Lady Mocha represent Mocha's Cafe de Paris. Well, I'm always serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. I know it has been a while since I've uploaded. I've been putting a lot of work into my other channel, which is growing as well. So, Mocha's Ladies Lounge. So, I'm trying to balance, making sure I give both of my channels the same amount of attentiveness. So nevertheless, I definitely felt it was very imperative that I covered this story. A lot of bloggers, everybody's been talking about it. Everybody's been pretty much in an uproar about the situation that occurred. It occurred live on Facebook. A matter of fact, this occurred I believe it was last week. The 25th. Yeah, March 25th is when all of this went down. It's a video that went viral on Facebook. I know a lot of y'all don't keep up with social media. Y'all don't do Facebook, which is understandable. But it went live. It occurred on March 25th, which was a Saturday. Situation went down live in which a woman by the name of Khadijah Michelle Brown had decided to take the life of her husband and the father of her 4 children, Jeremy Brown. So basically, y'all, what happened, I'm going to try to summarize this as best as I can. I'll go ahead and read the article. That way we can try to get down to the specifics. A Mississippi woman has been arrested for allegedly shooting fatally, not allegedly because she did. It was live. We know she did. But allegedly fatally shooting her husband in front of her children during the Facebook Live. Khadijah Michelle Brown, 28, was taken into custody after deputies with the Lowndes County Sheriff's Office responded to a domestic call around 7:40 a.m. on Saturday, March 25th. The department said in a statement that upon arriving at the residence on the 500 block of Green Tree Drive, they found Ms. Brown's husband, Jeremy Brown, was sustained a single gunshot wound. He was pronounced dead at the scene, and the 9mm handgun was recovered from the residence. Ms. Brown has been charged with unaliving. She is being held at the Lowndes County Adult Detention Center awaiting her first appearance in court. According to law enforcement, the incident was captured on Facebook Live. The violence unfolded during an argument between the couple. The outlet reports that Ms. Brown was complaining about her husband's behavior on camera when he went inside the residence. As the couple got physical, the screen went black, but the audio was still working, with the shot being heard on video. The Browns' children then reportedly yelled, "Daddy," as Ms. Brown allegedly screamed for help because the gun allegedly went off. There was a history of domestic violence between Brown and the victim, Sheriff Eddie Hoskins said on a statement. This was a tragic and senseless murder, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of the victim. Fortunately, Brown is in custody, and we look forward to the criminal justice system holding her accountability. So, nevertheless, y'all, to give y'all more thorough understanding as to what really went down, I am going to go ahead and play the audio. In between, as the audio is being played, I am going to say certain things, that way I don't get copyrighted too strongly. So just keep in mind, I'm going to be interceding just to keep the copyright down to a minimum. But we're going to go ahead and just play that footage. That way all of you, because again, I know everybody don't have a Facebook account, that way all of y'all can hear for yourselves what actually went down. So we're going to go ahead and proceed and play the audio. Fair use, fair use. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Fair use, fair use.
Have something to say, but he ain't here with his kids. He ain't helping. He left at 60. He left at 6:06 to go be with his mama. Over here trying to cook something to eat. Instead of trying to. Why is there got to be a question about do I need to cook for the kids? Why is there a question? And he don't never have to question. He don't want to question everybody's loyalty. But where is his loyalty at? I ain't saying no damn loyalty. I'm talking about. But he want to talk about me when I am not doing. He want to talk about me when I'm not doing. He want to talk about unnecessary
Talk about unnecessary. Then he talking about calling the police. Talk about I'm gonna get my stuff. But you got 4 kids and a wife. It's 7:36. He can't even be.
He can't even come here and cook for these kids.
He can't even come here and cook for the kids.
He got to be at work at 8 o'clock.
Nah, matter of fact, he got to be at work at 9.
Okay, well he still got time to cook for these kids.
And then he gotta go pick up his. He gotta go pick up his buddy from his job, Law.
Well, he need to tell Law he need to get his mama car and go to work.
He pick up his brother-in-law, take him to work back and forth every day.
I ain't got nothing to
But then,
nobody helping nobody,
but he can't put gas in both cars.
That's what I'm saying. If Law ain't getting him no gas money to go to work, talking about people got stuff. Okay, he wanna put it like that. Oh, I got stuff to do too. I'm over here. I got stuff to do too. I'm over here. I'm over here cooking breakfast.
Yeah, what you on the phone with?
Uncle, bro, boom. I'm talking about uncle. Shut
I'm over here. I'm done.
No, you ain't trying to get ready for work. Look at him. This is a sad case, y'all. He getting his stuff. Look at that. Sad case. As a father.
Okay, Jeremy, what is the conversation you want to have?
We good.
Yeah, and your baby in the room.
What is the conversation you want to have?
We good. Give me my phone, bro. Don't snatch
What is the conversation you want to have?
What the conversation?
Get out my
He
phone.
said, what's the
Don't touch
conversation?
me. Don't touch me. I'll call the police over here. Do not touch me.
He said, what's the conversation y'all want to have?
Get on me.
What's the conversation you want to have?
Oh, I'm finna send Dad over here. She touched me again.
Ain't nobody touching.
I'm gonna send my cousin over here. Do not touch me, bro.
Fair use, fair use. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Fair use, fair use.
You don't want to slap me? Hit me now. Hit me now.
Keep your hands on.
I'm still asking what is the conversation.
Oh man, that's what I'm finna do. I'm finna get up. I ain't really trying to argue at all. I'm just trying to get my...
Nah, you want to go tell your family about this, about that. You want to do this.
I'm trying to leave from over here and pee, man. I ain't trying to argue at all.
Ain't nobody...
I'm going to take my car key off.
Stop. What is the conversation?
Nah, what's the conversation? What's the conversation?
Keep your hands on.
What's the conversation?
Keep your hands on. Don't touch me, bro.
What's the conversation?
Move, bro. I'm trying to get ready for work, man. Go.
How you getting ready for work?
What is going on? That's all I'm here. I'm over here doing. Talking about I don't do nothing for the kids. I don't do nothing. I do what I can when I can.
Understand.
But like I said, don't keep putting me in situations that's not my problem. And then, like I said, this is your family. You supposed to be here helping take care of these kids. No, you're not good because you're not here taking care of these kids.
He wanna go cop everybody.
Keep your hands on me, bro. Don't touch me again.
Touch you.
Jason, sit there over here. We'll make it easy. Sit there over here. I'm gonna do it just like that. Sit there over here.
Ain't nobody finna come over here and do nothing.
Get your hands on me, bro. Stop touching me. Move.
Jesus, stop.
Sit there over here, Jason.
Ain't nobody coming over here.
On me, bro. Sit down. Get your motherfucking hands on me, bro. Stop touching me, bro.
Stop.
Stop touching me.
I'm gonna kill you. Murder scene,
Stop touching me again.
Stop.
Let go. Touch me. Touch me again. Touch me a motherfucking again.
Stop.
Touch me again.
Ain't nobody finna do
Don't go
that.
to put my gun on
Ain't
me.
nobody finna do nothing.
I'm gonna call the police. You got to go.
Ain't
Don't worry
nobody.
about it.
Stop.
Don't worry about it. Touch me
Stop.
again. Touch me again.
Stop. Yeah.
Touch me again.
Yeah. Stop. Yeah,
Touch me
bitch.
again.
Stop. Stop. I'm not over here for this.
Motherfucker gonna keep her hands
Kill
on me,
your
bro.
ass, not bitch. Stop. Nobody, I can get out my bed for this.
Man, people so
Stop.
selfish, man. Let me my shoes on, man.
Oh, you ain't getting nothing. Everything in the top belong to me.
Stop. Get somewhere and sit down. Y'all gonna have to stop all this. Cause then y'all wonder why the kids.
Fair use, fair use. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Fair use, fair use. Fair use, fair use. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. Fair use, fair use. So, as y'all can see, this is a very, very unfortunate, tragic situation that is forever going to alter the lives of Khadijah Brown, Jeremy Brown, the 4 children they share together, and both families are going to be impacted and affected by this for many, many years to come. So we're talking about many years of recovery. This is going to take a lot of time, a lot of prayer, and just it's going to take a lot of healing through this, because the point of the matter is this happened live. Millions of viewers saw and heard what occurred and what went down, and this is forever going to replay in the minds of those who have had to listen to this audio, and especially those who were actually there. So from what I can gather is, I've been looking at her Facebook page and I've been looking at his Facebook page, and it appears to me that there's been other things that have been occurring that made it lead up to this point. Not that it justifies this man losing his life, not that it justifies her in taking his life, but from what I can see, gathered from the Facebook posts that I've been reading, that she has been posting, it's been a lot of it's been trouble in paradise. Now, from what you could initially see in the earlier posts, they seem to have an ideal family. They seem to be very happy with their children. It didn't seem like they were in too bad of an awful place. They seemed like they were just a regular young couple who had children together, had jobs, seemed like they, for the most part, the image they displayed was that it was predominantly a happy young black family, had all their children together, no outside kids and stuff. So basically, they was already off to a good start. They had something that a lot of people crave to have. They had a family foundation that a lot of women would desire to have. A lot of women would desire to be married to the father of their children, and then to have all of your kids from the same man. Seems like they was off to a good start for the most part. They was living that American dream, but apparently things are not always as they seem, and this is the reason why you can't be up here envious of other couples. You can't be, thinking that people have no issues in their marriage, have no issues, in their relationship, because a lot of people, they're going to always post all of the wonderful things, but sooner than later, when things like this happen, everybody's looking with the side eye like, wow, how did this happen? I mean, they seem like they were so happy together, this, that, and the third. But nevertheless, there was a lot of trouble. And truth be told, everybody has issues in their marriage, in their relationship. That's why you can't, be sitting up here putting up this front like, everything is golden, everything is perfect, because sooner than later, it's going to come to the surface, eventually, depending on how severe things become. And in this case, everything has come to the surface. So, Khadijah Brown on her personal Facebook page was posting things that was going on in her marriage. So the last thing she had posted the day before she actually had made the decision to take his life, she posted, "National Sale and Lease Manager fucks his employees," and she has tagged him Jeremy Rock Brown. So on Facebook, whenever you hashtag somebody's name, for those of you who don't do Facebook, it automatically shows up on their page. So when she posted that comment, not only did she see it, everybody on his page saw it. His co-workers, his mom and his daddy, her parents, everybody saw all of this. You get what I'm saying? So Facebook has never been the place that no one should be displaying problems in their relationship. But let's just face it, people are going to always use social media to expose and exploit people. And a lot of the times when they think they're embarrassing the other person, they end up embarrassing themselves, because nobody should be knowing what kind of problems you got going on in your household like that. But nevertheless, she was so angry and so upset with him. That was her way. I guess she felt at the time, oh, you want to play me, you want to lie, you want to cheat, you want to mess around, I'm going to put it out there. So that's what she did. So not only she posted that, she also screenshotted a picture of him inboxing another female by the name of Jessica Reeder, where he's basically trying to hit on this, where he is hitting on this other female, called saying, hey, sexy, how you been? Give me a call. She can just, you could tell, he was trying to get at this broad. Okay. So she posted that as well. And from that point, that is when things really started kind of brewing, and pretty much it escalated to another level. To add insult to injury, on that same day, she also posted, I have a bisexual husband, Jeremy Rock Brown. Again, when she put his name in that post, not only did that message be displayed on her page, it got displayed on his page as well. So as you can see, this is not a good look for neither one of them. I've never been fond of people taking their problems to social media, whether if it's Twitter, Instagram, or whatever. But this is the type of generation we live in. This is the generation where they put everything out there nowadays. Nobody hides anything, even down to their sexuality. Back then, we used to have to guess if a person was that way. Now they so proud of it, they blatantly put it out there. They kissing the same sex and things of that nature, when back then, people that was that way, they would kind of down kid. You would never really know. You would have to really dig and kind of do your research for you can really for it can be confirmed that a person is that way. You know what I'm saying? It's part of the rainbow. Now they don't hide anything, and that's the same way it works with these relationships. Young people, they take everything and grown folks too. But for the most part, it's a lot of these young couples, they take everything to Facebook because they don't know how to communicate effectively with their own partner. They don't know how to express themselves without putting it out there for everybody else to see. And this only magnified the problem. It's one thing when it's just you and your spouse that know about it. But when you put things out there, what happens is it gives everybody the permission, the access to opinionate on it. And it's already difficult trying to resolve the issue between you and your significant other. That's a challenge within itself. So when you have other people coming in, adding their opinions, and saying, oh man, that's messed up, man, how your wife, I'm sure people was calling him, blowing up his phone, man, really, you know what I'm saying, you get down like that, bro, wow, you know what I mean? So as a man, I'm sure his pride was bruised, that his own wife would take it there. But at the same time, I'm sure she was very hurt, very distraught. My husband, the father of my 4 children, he out here, doing some WAP shopping, as Karen Merrill would say. He doing some WAP shopping. You know what I mean? He around here, indulging in inappropriate conversations with other women. So both of them was equally right for feeling disrespected by one another. So nevertheless, she decides to go Facebook Live. All right. Again, this the new generation. We're going to put it all out there. You already posted it on Facebook. That wasn't good enough. Now you want to go live. Okay. So she took it upon herself to go live. Now I watched, like y'all heard the audio, and I'm going to leave the link to the bottom. So basically, she's going off, about him not cooking, not doing what he needs to do for the children. Her mother is there putting in her 2 cents and everything. So at this point, I'm sure Jeremy is already fed up. He's over it. And the fact that he was already talking to other women, he probably been been feeling some type of way about his marriage for quite some time. 9 times out of 10, once your partner starts going out, stepping out, creeping out, talking to other people, that's already pretty much a red flag that they don't value the marriage. And we just gonna say allegedly, because we don't know if that was really the case. If he was really, cheating on his wife, or maybe he was doing some low-key flirting, but either way, it was inappropriate. But nevertheless, she goes on live saying all of these things. Jeremy, the husband, comes over, and he just wants to get his things, because at this point he's already, his masculinity, she already pretty much, bruised that, belittled him, putting out these accusations that he's bisexual, that he's smashing his employees, and all of this is not a good look, for him. And you got your co-workers who follow your page, your in-laws who follow your page. That's just the bottom line, So he, at this point, he's just trying to get his thing. So as he's in the home, and his wife is bitching at him, going off on him about how he doesn't do nothing, he doesn't help with anything. Just add more fuel to the fire. You already posted, all of these strong accusations. Then on top of that, now you going live. So I'm hearing Jeremy just basically trying to do it and say whatever he can to hurry up and get the hell up out of there. He says, I wants to get my things so I can leave. I think at this point it starts to really put her up more so in an uproar, because she sees that he wants out. Now, we don't know if he just went out for a moment so he can cool off, get himself together, because, husband and wives, we have arguments. Sometimes we have nasty arguments, and sometimes it's better, in most cases it's better, if somebody walks out, leaves the situation. Because both of y'all there arguing and going back and forth, that's like adding gasoline to the fire. It just makes things much worse. So as far as I'm concerned, he's doing the right thing. He wants to hurry up and go ghost. He see she's in an uproar. Her mother is in an uproar. The mother's co-signing with the daughter. And that's just something, unfortunately, women do that. Women will defend their daughters, And then you have some mothers where they're able to read in between the lines. Well, I'll defend you on this, but then you wrong on that. So it seems like, the mother really wasn't balancing out and really trying to do what she could to basically calm the situation down. It kind of seemed like she was antagonizing it just a little bit or whatever. But anyway, they're going back and forth. And at this point, he says, I just want to leave. I just want to get my things. And at this point, she's getting more angry because she sees that everything she's done is not stopping him from wanting to leave the situation. Now, when he says, I need to leave because I got to go to work, my thing is, okay, he said he was leaving because he got to go to work, but at the same time, he's coming to get his things. So if he's getting his things, is he moving out because he plans on leaving the marriage? Or is he just getting his things to go to work because he didn't say anything about coming back? He didn't say anything about I'll be back later. I just came to get my things. When we cool down, I'll be back. He made it seem like to me that he was definitely trying to leave. So that's the part where I'm a little vague. Did he want to leave as far as leave her for good because of how she embarrassed him? Or leave as in, I'm just getting my things so I can go to work and I can just have some time to cool down for a couple of days. That part, that's kind of up in the air. But nevertheless, whether if he was leaving, if he wanted to leave just to have a break, or if he finally reached his breaking point when he no longer wanted the marriage, that still does not give her grounds to take it to the next level she took it to. So when he says that, she sees at this moment that, okay, I'm losing control. I've done everything I could to try to embarrass him, to try to get him to shape up, and she sees it's not working. And he's still, trying to conduct himself as a man in the situation. He didn't even cuss out. He didn't even call her bitch. He didn't say anything that should have really sparked her. I think what really sparked her was she saw that he had his mind made up. He was through with it. Because when you've been married for a long time, you know your husband's language and your husband knows your language. You know when you have finally gotten to that place in your toxic relationship where you just can't do it no more. It's over. I think she saw that and it really provoked her. Like, he wants to leave. He wants to leave our marriage, leave me with these 4 children, and he gets to move on with his life and still deal with other women and leave me with our kids. I think all of that in the heat of the moment is what ultimately triggered her to take it to that level. Now, again, this isn't to justify or say that she was right. This is just my analyzation as to what possibly could have been going through her mental psyche at the time when this went on. You feel me? So I think she got scared. She panicked because this American dream, and a lot of women go through this. You feel like you've accomplished something. A lot of women don't get to accomplish, especially black women. It's very rare that you get to have all of your kids from the same man. Y'all been married all of this time. Y'all accomplished something that a lot of other people within the black community have not accomplished. And that's a solid, strong family foundation. They had it all. And I think what happened was she panicked. Because it puts anybody who's been in that situation, when you know or you have that feeling, that intuition that your husband or your wife wants to leave, and you realize how much y'all done built together, and you're looking at the children y'all had together, it is very scary when this person has made up their mind they want to leave. They don't want the marriage. So it's either one or two ways you can go about it. You could accept the L, even though it's going to be painful. It's going to be embarrassing. Your friends, your neighbors, everybody's going to know about it. But in due time, you'll get past it. You'll learn to adjust to having to do things differently, being single compared to being married. Or maybe sometimes you have to let a person go out there, as painful as it is, for them to realize that you had everything you needed here. And it takes a very mature woman or very mature man with that kind of mindset, where sometimes you got to let your spouse go. If they think they're going to get it better, if they think it's something else out there that's going to be better than what they got, a lot of times when you let people go, they produce their own karma. They get out there, and now you got all the room to do WAP shopping and fornicate with all kind of women and men, because you're free now and you done exited your marriage. Now that you got all that freedom, you realize shit ain't all what you thought it was. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you done smashed a couple of honeys or homies, but ain't nobody checking for you like that, because that's always the way it is, y'all. When you're married in a marriage, that's when people seem to find you attractive. When you decide to leave your marriage and you single, people don't be checking for you like that no more. I don't know what it is, but it be like that. You leave your marriage, now you free, you got all the freedom, ain't nobody checking for you. Women ain't flirting with you, ain't trying to hit on you. But when you are somebody's husband, you had all kind of women coming out the woodworks. You feel me? So sometimes you got to take the high road, be the bigger person, let them go out there, and once they bump their damn head and they learn their lesson, it's up to you. You can give them a second chance and say, look, we done already been through the bull BS. I'm not going to deal with this a second round. You got your little chance to go out there and experiment, have your little fun. You found out it ain't all what there is to it. So your curiosity should be gone at this point. Because I allowed you to do you, so you should be good now. I shouldn't have to deal with no more women inboxing you. No more you sneaking and creeping, because you done had your fun. come back and be a man or leave me the hell alone. Or you can be on some, oh hell no, I'm done. You left me. You didn't think about your actions when you did what you did. So guess what? It's over. It's done. Give me my child support. Give me my alimony. And you do you. You got several other options other than taking it to the level where she took it to. So she saw that she couldn't do anything. He stayed very consistent. And she could tell this time he meant what he was saying. And that it practically, possibly was going to be over for good this time. I think she panicked, she got scared, and at this point, she starts hitting him. She hits him because she sees that all of her words are not penetrating. All of the trying to make him look bad, trying to make him embarrassed, she sees she's not getting the results she wanted. Sometimes women do stuff like that thinking it's going to humble a man, and all it does is make him more hostile, okay? When you do things like this, it don't make a person more humble. It makes them more hostile. But at the same time, he kept his cool. And I think that was really, 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 really pissing her off. Because he would not feed into her shenanigans. So that's when she took it to the next level and hits him. She hits him. And he's even saying at this point, telling her mother, hey, get your daughter from by me, or whatever he said in those words. Get her, leave me alone, or whatever. He just wants to get his stuff and go. She's pissed because she's steadily trying to provoke him to get more outraged, and he just wouldn't. He kept his composure no matter what, and she knew he wanted out this time. So as they're tussling, she takes it to another level. We don't know if they was tussling for sure, what actually went down, because at this point in time, the phone goes black. But you can hear everything that's going on. Next thing you notice, one thing leads to another. A gunshot goes off, and you no longer hear Jeremy's voice. You hear a lot of screaming. You hear the kids screaming. The kids are upset because kids are they know how to process things these days. They know when they dad laid on that ground or that floor and he didn't move, he didn't say a word, blood came pouring from his body. Them kids saw that. And that's what made them scream. They knew something was terribly wrong. And even at this point, she knew she took it too far. First thing that comes to her mind is, I don't want to go to jail. Which further lets you know she was still thinking about herself. She didn't say, oh my gosh, I hope I didn't, unalive him. Oh my goodness, I think I unalived my husband, my kid's father. She automatically thought about her. How what she did, how it was going to affect her. Once reality sunk in, and I guess this man is still laying here, he's not getting up, he's unresponsive, she goes over and tries to cuddle him, and is begging, pleading with God, that he pulls through some way, somehow, because now anger has left and reality has set in. And that's why you have to be very careful on how you respond to your emotions, how you respond to your anger, because anger will push you to a point of no return. And she's cuddling him, holding him, realizing, oh my gosh, this is real. I really unalived him. He's in my arms. He's not breathing. He's not responding. He's not talking. It's there now. It's really here. We are here at this point. So her mother is screaming and having a fit. At some point in time, his mother and his uncle, the man who he was on the phone with actually, and explaining to him, that I'm trying to get my things, I'm trying to leave, they come to the house. Because anytime you on that type of conversation and you hear a gunshot, that's automatic. You're going to go to the residence if you family and see what's up. So when they came over there and they saw the woman saying, get away from me, that was his mother. And the uncle confirmed to her, because I guess the wife Khadijah was still oblivious to the fact, and that's when the uncle calmly said, "He gone now. He gone. He's unalived." So at this point, everybody's in an uproar. Her mother, his mother, the kids, everybody's emotions are at an all-time high. And most importantly, for her, the reality has hit her like a tornado. She sees that this man is gone. The father of her 4 children and her husband. Just in a split few seconds, it all transpired to this point. Out of anger. Instead of her just letting it go, she let her emotions get the best of her because she felt like she was losing her marriage. Now, more importantly, not only did you lose your marriage, you lost your husband. And you lost the father of your 4 children. And now you done lost your freedom. So she didn't really analyze all of what she was going to lose compared to worrying about just losing the marriage. And sometimes in a situation, I think all men, all women have been there where your significant other has done something really messed up that had really taken you to a place you normally would never go to, but because you love that person so much and you want so badly to keep them in your life, you allow your emotions to take you to a very unpleasant place in which you end up making very detrimental decisions. And sometimes that's where wisdom and the spiritual discernment has to come in and take over before your emotions do and lead you and say, look, I know you're mad right now, but do you really want to go to prison? Do you really want to lose your daughter? It's been times I was in situations where my significant other made me very upset, made me very angry, and I ain't gonna lie and say I ain't thought about it. I think just about the average, every woman on this planet at some point in time, and some of you guys have thought about, you know what, I'm about to catch a case. I really, really want to destroy this individual. But that's what common sense has to step in. I think about, I had a daughter I had to raise. I would not be no good for her if I'm in prison. First of all, if I was to pop him, unalive him, how the hell I'm going to drag his body? How I'm going to get his body out of here? He weighs what? 250? How I'm going to drag him all the way from the sofa or from the bed to the back of my SUV? Not only that, he has a bunch of people who work for him. They're going to be blowing up his phone looking for him. How I'm going to keep lying on all of them. He's not here. I'll tell him to call. What I'm saying, I'll tell him to call you back. People eventually going to get suspicious. His parents going to look for him. I'm going to be first of contact because I'm his wife. They don't hear from him. They don't see him. They're going to call me. Where's my son? Why he's not picking up the phone? Why he's not answering? Not only that, detectives eventually, somebody going to show up to my home. I'm going to have to keep telling a lie to cover another lie to cover another lie to cover another lie. And eventually, I'm going to get caught because you can't cross all your T's and dot all your I's, especially when a life has been taken. You can't hide a deceased adult body for but so long. Something's going to be left behind. Even if I succeed in removing his whole body, his DNA, something's going to get left behind. I got carpet here. I don't have the patience and the energy to try to drag him, then get a damn what's one of them vacuums that sucks up water and blood. You still gonna leave behind some DNA. One way or another. Be just my luck, one of my neighbors see me dragging him out. And they go interviewing my neighbors. Have you seen anything suspicious? Have you heard anything suspicious? Not to mention, I live in a neighborhood that's very close-knit. We can hear shots and gunshots and everything. And I don't say this with pleasure, but you have to really think that far ahead. If I really take it here, my mother's going to be distraught. Both of my fathers, they're going to be heartbroken. My daughter is grown. I'll never see her have her first wedding, have my first grandchild. You got to really think before you really step out there and do something. And really, guns and angry people, they don't belong in the same room. It's never good to have a weapon anywhere in your presence when you're going through an emotional meltdown, especially when it comes to something you're very passionate about, which is your marriage and your significant other. Realize now that this whole situation, this tragedy, is going to forever alter and change everybody's lives in some form or another. Definitely the children, because the children are going to be without both parents. Their mother is going to be incarcerated, and their father, unfortunately, he will never be returning back. So the next issue is going to be the families getting along for the sake of the children. His family is going to have to somehow, some way, be at peace with her family for the sake of the children. That's going to be very hard, because when it comes to these type of situations, everybody wants to point the fingers. Everybody wants to blame somebody who they feel had a part in it. Khadijah's mother, being that she was there when it happened and she did not tell her verbally to put the gun down, his family may hold that against her. Not only that, the children are going to need a lot of therapy, because they actually witnessed their mother unalive their father. They saw it with their own eyes, so they're going to need a lot of psychological help. Their mother's not going to be in no position to soothe them or comfort them after she was the one who caused this level of damage. She's not going to be able to comfort them because she's going to be incarcerated. More problems that's going to come out of this. It may be a custody issue. Probably, we know once when families go through grieving, after the grieving process starts slowing down, here comes the ugly parts. His family may want to give full custody of the kids, being that her daughter was the one who unalived him, and her mother, which is the kid's grandmother, saw the incident taking place, and she didn't really intervene as much as she could have. So that may be the next thing that's coming. And the thing about it is, she's going to be incarcerated. So when her mother lets her know all of the things that are taking place with his family, possibly trying to take custody, she's not going to be able to do nothing about it, because she's going to be incarcerated. So it's going to be more and more and more complications that's going to come behind this. His family may try to fight for full custody of the kids. Once this woman is sentenced, and I'm sure most likely she's going to get life for it, she's definitely going to be psychologically damaged. And let's just face it, incarceration doesn't really give these type, they really don't accommodate inmates with these type of programs such as counseling and therapy, because these jails are overcrowded and there's limited staff. You don't have enough counselors, or therapists to go around. So a lot of the things she's going to be going through, she's going to have to deal with it psychologically on her own, which is not going to be a good thing, because when you are incarcerated, basically you are confined, which means she's going to be in between four walls for the majority of the day, every day. She may get an hour or two of rec time, but for the most part, she's going to be in a jail cell, in a correctional facility, in a prison. She's in the jail right now, but eventually she's going to be transported from the local county jail to an actual prison. And once she's transported to a prison, it's going to be harder for her family to be able to bring the children to go see her. And I'm sure the family's going to have mixed feelings, like, we don't want her to see her kids, being that she caused this and she took their father, but at the same time, the kids, they still going to love their mother. They're going to look for their mother even more now that the father is gone. So it's just going to be so much that's coming behind this that I don't think a lot of them are even thinking about it at this point in time. And she definitely didn't think about it. It is going to be a lot. These families are going to be at war with each other for many years to come. I don't think anybody's going to get over this no time soon. And not that I blame them. In a situation like this, there's no time frame as to when you should get over something. This man was somebody's son. He was somebody's father. He was somebody's nephew. He was somebody's brother. And, she was somebody's mom. She's somebody's sister, somebody's daughter. This is ugly. This is very, very ugly. This is a hot ass mess at this point. Every time she goes to court, she's going to have to face the faces of her family. And his family is definitely going to be there because they want to make sure that their son gets the justice that he deserves, because he's not here to speak for himself or defend himself. So she's going to have to keep facing this over and over and over and over. This is just the beginning of her troubles. She'll have to keep going back and forth to court, looking at her family. Her children may be there, which I will hope the family would not allow the children to be there in the courts while this is transpiring, because they've already been damaged mentally and emotionally enough. They don't need to see their mother coming up there in an orange suit with her hands cuffed behind her back, hearing all the gruesome details, even though they already saw it. I just think that's adding the nail inside the coffin. So hopefully the children are excluded from the courts part from the arraignment. They don't need to see their mother. Eventually they're going to know, but I think it'd be better if they're older and they get time to process all of this. Hopefully the family is just focusing on making sure these children get in therapy, making sure they get in counseling, because they're going to need that. It's not going to completely resolve the damage that they have to mentally and psychologically endure, but it's a start. Something is better than nothing. Those kids are going to need counseling. They're going to need people that specialize in dealing with children that encounter this type of trauma. So hopefully the family is preparing for that. But from the looks of it, we can see that they already pretty much had a very toxic relationship. Even though on social media, they did like the ideal family. Now coming out. There's a lot of posts coming out, text messages when Khadijah and her husband used to have conversations with each other as husbands and wife. And you can kind of tell just based off of reading the text messages that this marriage was very toxic. You know, the way they would communicate with each other, the way they had, you know, the way they would express themselves to one another. It just seems like a very volatile marriage. That they were pretty much, you know, putting on the poker face, you know, on social media, like they were so happy and they had all together, which, you know, a lot of these relationships, they do that now. You know, they so quick to post everything that's great. And I'm starting, this is just my personal opinion, I'm getting to a point to where I feel like the more people constantly have to keep posting how great things are, that's the more ungreat things are behind closed doors. It's kind of like they need to convince themselves and convince other people. That way they can find hope in their own, you know, damaged marriage, is by making sure at least other people are cheering them on and co-signing and liking them pics, liking their pics, and liking their posts and complimenting them. Maybe that gives them that extra assurance that they need, that their marriage stands some type of hope. But on the other hand, behind closed doors, they're miserable. It's very chaotic. It's a lot of turmoil. So a lot of these couples who try to post like they're so happy and they're doing so great, behind closed doors is actually the exact opposite of what they present themselves to be. But nevertheless, this was a very unfortunate situation, y'all. So definitely keep the families in prayers. Keep as much as we don't want to, we got to pray for everybody. Keep Khadijah Brown in your prayers, but more importantly, definitely keep Jeremy Brown's family in your prayers, and definitely those children. They're gonna need all the prayers they can get. At this point, damage is already done. Some things are just undone. Once you do it, you cannot go back and fix it. Just keep in mind before you get ready to go out there and do something crazy, drastic, because you're acting out of emotions. You're seeing something you want. Get ready to walk out on you, and you're feeling defeated. And you're feeling as if there's something else you can do to try to get their attention. Come a point where you just got to let people go. Let people go. Don't be trying to force someone to stay with you, thinking if you threaten them, you pull a weapon out on them, you know, that you have the power to take their lives. It's not worth it. This is a prime example. You know, learn from this. Look who's all getting affected and impacted by the decision she made. And it was all out of anger. Probably would have been something that they would have kissed and made up a week later on, you know. Or if they would have went their separate ways, she probably would have found somebody she would have been happier with. Just don't make permanent decisions based off of temporary feelings. So anyway, y'all, it is your girl, your diva. In knowledge, Lady Mocha represent Mocha's Cafe de Paris. Well, I'm always serving you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. Y'all be blessed. Stay safe.